What about the electron microscope? Supposedly, the only way to visually see the smallest building blocks of matter is through an electron microscope. And yet there is still not a single photographic picture of an atom, nor is there a picture of an electron, neutron or proton. There are over 118 publicly known elements in the periodic table of elements, and there is still not a single photo available of the atom of any of those elements. If an atom would be able to be seen through an electron microscope, it would surely be possible to take a photo of it, but this is not the case. The childish argument that the so-called science of quantum physics is most conveniently using is that the electron microscope is not an optical instrument, so the footage taken by it can only be in the form of CGI or a computer generated image. What about the various experiments that are being conducted at CERN? Personally, I have noticed a pattern in the way CERN is conducting experiments. There is always a planning period of anywhere between 12 and 15 months. After that, there comes a preliminary testing period of around 18 months. Then there is some kind of a technical malfunction that needs another 10 months to be fixed. After that, a secondary test period begins, which has a duration of another 15 months or so. Then a final test period begins, which has a duration of 18 months. Finally, the preparation for the actual experiments are being officially announced and will take up to around 12 months to complete. If everything goes well, the experiment will be conducted and will take another 20 months to complete. And after 10 long years, the expected results of the experiments will be presented to us. And all of that will be in the form of a single CGI consisting of a colorful animation full of sparkles and glitters that are supposedly the remnants of the elements which collided with each other. My point is that absolutely nothing is being collided at CERN. The only thing they are creating with these fear-mongering tactics is additional tension within society, all of which has the purpose of distracting us with yet another ridiculous bunch of a so-called scientific gibberish. But if the smallest building blocks of matter are not as they are being presented to us, what is the truth about them? There are several possibilities on what the truth may be about the smallest building blocks of matter, and these are 3 of them. The first possibility is that the smallest building blocks of matter are simply too small to be seen with any existing microscope. The second possibility is the notion of the string theory, which states that all fundamental particles are actually tiny vibrating loops of string. It tries to do so by positing that particles are actually one-dimensional, string-like entities whose vibrations determine the particles' properties such as their mass and charge. However, the string theory would be in contradiction to the atomic theory. So, our Freemasonic world rulers decided to officially dismiss the string theory as a possibility. There is no place for a string theory in the so-called particle collisions. These supposed particle collisions are obviously non-existent, and adopting a concept such as the string theory would only expose the overall fakery of CERN and its fraudulent activities. Another possibility is that the smallest building blocks of matter can be seen, but that there is a rather scary aspect to them. We could be dealing with some kind of particles that have shape-shifting properties. They could be some kind of tiny individual beings capable of changing not only their shape but also their composition depending on the condition of their surroundings. As I've stated before, all building blocks of matter belong to the same source God, also known as Brahman. And it is possible that these smallest fundamental elements are not only literally alive, but are observable as well. Either way, we are not being presented with the truth about the smallest building blocks of matter. What could possibly be the purpose of the atom hoax? Our Freemasonic world rulers are using various methods of distracting us from becoming aware of the true nature of our existence. The whole atomic theory is being implemented, maintained, promoted, and fraudulently presented to us as a fact. And, just as the heliocentric lie, it serves the purpose of being a major distraction. It's one more topic of discussion. It's one more time-wasting activity. It also includes the ridiculous notion that the particle collision could cause a black hole. So there are also fear-mongering aspects of the atomic hoax which distract us from seeing the true nature of reality. The actual reason why our Freemasonic world rulers are distracting us would be a topic for another video. Regarding the activities at CERN, my conclusion is that CERN is not a reason for concern. It's just a hoax. It's just a distraction.